Left of the box. The call-ins to the show, it's really interesting, but if you go and watch it on my channel, I added in Tamoor's IM to the show. But I also cut out, there was a comment in the chat. And again, this is why it's so important to bring attention to these subjects when I was talking about how much more difficult it is for people with disabilities. Like, we can't go on strike. Like, what are we going to go on strike about? And somebody in the chat was just like, oh my God, somebody's finally talking about how invisible people with disabilities are and stuff like that. And I actually cut it out and I put it up on the screen as well, because a lot of the barriers and stuff that people with disabilities face when it comes to getting politically involved aren't really talked about. They aren't discussed. Like, even just something as simple as, give money to this campaign and stuff, when most people who live with disabilities live in poverty because of the way our governments treat us. But to be able to go out to a protest can be difficult. Like, there's so many more barriers for somebody who lives with a disability to get politically involved, to become an activist. And yeah, it's not talked about much at all, which is why I feel like it's so important when we finally do have people in office who have disabilities, that we finally have that perspective added in there. And then suddenly, you have Sarah, an amazing advocate. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I have my first video about her when she first got elected in. There's a link to a talk she gave that just made me so emotional because of talking about some of the things that she had to overcome and everything. And we don't have representation, because if we did, then, our disability rates in both countries would be a lot higher than what they currently are. But we're seen as disposable in the countries because, we can't contribute to the capitalist system the same way as able-bodied and mind people can. So there's a lot of stigma towards us that we don't deserve anything good, that, that it's okay if we just disappear.